Okay, I know you can hear me, and I know that the focus is off, so I'm going to fix that right now. I put my hand back here. All right. Still a little soft, aren't I? So hard. I need to get a lens that will maintain focus. There we go. One thing, friends. Gotta have a hair light. Really changes everything. So, oh, and my microphone's not really perfectly placed. Let's fix that. Yeah. Sorry if that was really bothersome to you all. Okay. Let me bring up the old chat room because I can't see it right now. As promised, grapes. Mm-hmm. Somebody said, all right, this has got to be something, but then I popped out the chat room, so I lost it. All right. Should we get some tunes going? Well, That's funny. Nah. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Well, there we go. Looks like sound isn't. Oh, it is. Wait, what? There we go. There you go. I got some tunes in there. Is your house just shelves of alcohol and no furniture? No. Okay. This is the basement. That was the garage. You know what? All this music is licensed from Epidemic Sound. I don't know what any of this music is anymore. I mean, like, it's just library music. It's written for the Sound Library Company. All right. Let's see. Mac desktop is not working. Can you hear me? You can hear me, but you can't see me. Well, that's funny. Aha! It's because I had a bar camera plugged in here. Let's move the chat room over here. Let's move this over here. Let's get rid of that. We'll just move it over here. You can see that. Hey, look at my desktop. The funny thing is, I could probably just delete it all, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. Let's open up After Effects and Premiere. So, I don't know about you guys, but I use this thing called Trello to keep track of all my tasks. And my task for the day was, I gave myself make bumpers. Okay. So made a D&D opener. It's not 100% finished, but it's good enough to use. I would like to make an After Dark bumper, a talk show bumper, an Anything Goes bumper, and this HTD Live bumper. Okay. I don't know why After Effects is suddenly acting like that. That's really weird. New product. Let me think here. We need After Dark. So we need a piece of music for that. What does an After Dark How to Drink look like? Probably does look like sex noises. I don't think I have any music like that. We're gonna have to stop sound. Epidemic Sound is where I license my music from. Which just... what? Wait, no. I need to know. What's Twitch Just Chatting? What is that? What is this playlist? Alright, this is the Twitch Just Chatting playlist. This is pretty good. For what it is, it's pretty good. It's great. Actually, some of this might work. Let's pull some tracks. No. Yep. Spelt it wrong, that's alright. Pull a couple of track selects. If I'm not supremely entertaining at the moment, guys, I'm literally working. I'm not big on electro sling. It's not my jam. It always feels like a commercial for some European yogurt brand to me. What's Caravan Palace? I really hate electro sling. It all sounds the same to me. No. There was... man, what was it that I was listening to before? You know what? Put it into made a place playlists. Oh yeah. I am not familiar with clowncore. I think this is what I want. Hell yeah. Alright, so then when you look at these sound libraries, if you work with them, I'm pretty good at picking tracks for edits when I work for clients. What I do is I look for something, when I hear something I kind of like, almost always they associate it to an artist, even if it's not really an artist. It's just like sometimes they're real artists, but sometimes it's just like these tracks all go together kind of thing on the library. It's a good way to find more of what you like. It did sound like Kavinsky. That's what I was going for. In the biz, that's called the sound-alike. So if there's some websites, some sound libraries specialize in doing sound-alikes. Like, well, I need something that sounds exactly like Michael Jackson's Thriller, but isn't Michael Jackson's Thriller. Hell yeah. Here's on. Retrowave. Ooh, good arpeggios. Yeah, Night Call. I was gonna say the other thing that's I think is similar in a lot of ways to what we're listening to here, but a little more aggressive, is the music that Daft Punk did for Tron 2. It's a great album. Chef's Kiss. Tron 3? Really? I played a lot of Magic the Gathering. Dig this. So, I mean, this might just become the soundtrack of the stream. Ooh. I haven't played Magic in years. Yeah, I was really excited for that movie, but I was not... I mean, I hope the movie's gonna be great. I'm gonna see it for sure, but I'm not thrilled with the trailer. God, I love Bill and Ted, though. Yeah! I just like it. You got the touch. I'll be up at 7 or 8 in the morning. No, I have a blanket license. The license is covered. I pay an annual fee to use whatever I want, however I want to use it. I can just do whatever I want with this. Well, not whatever I want. Oh, yeah. It's so over the top. I can do whatever I want with this on my Twitch or my 2 YouTube channels. God, it's so much less money than you expect to be. It's like $150 or something. It should get distributed to the creators, but I actually don't know the process at Epidemic Sound, to be honest. That's a fair question. I think that these songs are written primarily by people who work for Epidemic Sound, like staff, and recorded by studio cats. H2D2, and there's a thingy down there. Who is Dan? Who is Dan with the good hair? So one thing I would say about Epidemic Sound that they don't do that a lot of other libraries do is, like, in other libraries, there'd be a plus here, and I could click on this, and it would show me like a bunch of different versions of the song. And also stingers and loops and stuff like that. Here, you can either get the song or the stems. The stems are, you know, this is the percussion, this is the melody, this is the bass, so on. All right, whatever. So let's go to Premiere, because that's where I can work easily. And I will create a new project. I'm going to call this one Twitch After Dark. Okay. Have you heard of Gunship? Nope. Magnum Bullets? Nope. I haven't heard of any of this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about what you're talking about. Okay, and you can only see part of my project here, but I'm going to move this project pane over here so you can see it. I'm going to create really quickly just a new bin for music and a new bin for sequence. And I think in this case that's really all we're going to have. We're going to take our After Dark music, and I'm just going to drop all that into music. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick a track. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is make a sequence. I'm going to make it After Dark bumper. Cool. And that should be defaulting to, oh shit, no, it's probably not right, actually. It's probably defaulting to the, yeah, 4K. I don't need that. I need it 1920 by 1080, and it should actually be 30 FPS. Cool. And now back into the project pane where you can see, let's just look at some music we pulled. If your ears are like mine, that is really loud. Oh, it's not even in the mix because I have to add Premiere Pro to the mix. There you go. Now you can hear it. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Twitch After Dark. I like it. It is very Tron. Where's it go? Doesn't have a crescendo. I need a crescendo. This just reminds me of the scene in Goonies when they're at the bottom of the well. I love it. Ooh, yeah. Time for Twitch After Dark. Yeah, man. Hit me with that Oberlin. Hit me with that Oberlin synthesizer. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna break like fucking drop. Where's the drop? Where's the drop? That's really good. Night Stalker sub. Very similar piece of music right here. Racing Hearts. These are Biodynamic DT770 Pros. So it's funny. I'm pretty sure that track, Night Stalker or Racing Hearts, I have used for clients from, and I pulled the music from another sound library. Let's use Night Stalker because I haven't used this. I like the lead in. Guys, we're gonna kick it all night here on. I'm double timing, it's really fast. Yeah. now you need to get the changes faster. Basically, I'm building a stinger. One way to shorten it is like that. Crossfade. Nah, I hate that. Delete that. Okay. Probably off by like a subframe or something. Which means we just gotta cross dissolve it. Yeah. It's like that. Nah, maybe not. So it's gonna be tough, because it doesn't really give you a great closeout. Screwed up. That's not supposed to happen. Reset that. Okay, we can cross dissolve it so we can bring in those instruments. Okay, now in project, I'm just going to create a black video. It doesn't make it, actually, no, we should make it actually be in the correct frame rate. Black video, yeah, why would it be that when we've been working in that? Thank you. Dukes. In. mark there. I liked Hot Tub Time Machine. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to place it in After Effects composition. Why is this slow? We're going to call this Twitch After Dark. Cool. And we got our marks here for the beats, right? And so the first thing we want to do is to do a new layer. I think the way to do this would be to make a solid. We're going to make it, I don't know, give it a height of 10,000 pixels and a width of 5,000 pixels. And then I'm going to do an effect. We're going to make a grid, literally generate a grid. Unfortunately, it is going to be 8-bit. We can live with that. We will survive. And what we want to do is we're going to set it to be, give me width and height sliders. There we go. Perfect. And like that. Yeah, maybe not quite like that. I think we want it to be more like that. And yeah, probably more like that. And then I'm going to make that a 3D layer. And I'm going to do layer new, camera. Great, just give me a 50mm lens as default. And I'm going to take a new layer and I'm going to make a null object. And I'm going to make that null object a 3D object. And then I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to parent that to the null object. And just for you guys, I'll rename the null object Dolly. That's my camera Dolly. Now this black solid, make that one invisible, and then this one that is 3D, we will rotate it on the on the x-axis, like so. Perfect. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Now we've got that thing going on. And maybe we want to. This is After Effects, by the way. Somebody was just asking about what my software was. Maybe we want to push it back a little. That's perfect. And like that. Do I have... Oh, I guess I do, actually. There's another way we could do this. It might be better. We could do... I have to install... Well, actually, I might even have... Form? Yeah, I do have Form installed. Oh, shit. Okay. This changes everything. Now I want to do simple mountain valley height map. Images. Yeah, that might be the way to go. Maybe that one. Let's see here. Maybe that one. Save image as After Dark. New folder. Graphics. Let's try this. I haven't done this in years, but if I do a new layer, solid, I'm gonna call this one form. Then I'm gonna load the effect trapcode form onto form, and it's gonna wait. Great. And then I am going to, no, how about you base form, master, grid, mox, yeah, there's a way to do this. How do I do this? Layer maps, master, color, and alpha displacement. Yeah, so here's what we do. We do a grid, and we do size, X, Y, and Z. And particles in X. Particles in Z should be actually just 1. Particles in X should be 2000. Particles in, well, actually maybe Y should be 1, and particles in Z should be 2000. Okay. Here we go. We want a Y. Why is the form not loading? Because of my camera? But they've changed the software a whole lot. Damn, I don't... Color? No, particle. Sphere. Sphere feather. Texture, size, 2. Random color is white. I am confused. It's always been able to. Really possible that they've dramatically changed the way this software works, in which case I'm not going to be able to make any sense of it. It's not a stream issue. I just haven't used the software in years. I think I'll do it the cheaty way instead of using form. Form would have been really cool. I could do some sick shit with form, but we can do this too. And it'll be pretty cool. Okay. Might even be able to do... No, I can't do that here. I would have to do... Yeah. Okay. Layer. New solid. Actually, I think what I want to do is layer new shape layer. What I want to do is like Yeah, we're gonna look at two views. Horizontal, I want my left camera to be left. And see, that's my like mountain line I just made. And there's that light? Position it. See, I can move it. We want to put it back right there. That looks pretty good, actually. Okay, and then I probably want to like duplicate it, and now push this one really kind of close. You know what? I also think this should probably be a spot. And okay, position should be not you. Shit. See? Spotlight position. Come. Well, actually, it should go above, and it needs to be pointed at our grid. And actually, maybe it should. Okay, something like that. One view. It's starting to kind of look about what I want it to look like, I think. We need to do a new layer. Need a gradient. So that'll be a solid. This will literally just be 1920 by 1080. And we're going to put that at the bottom of everything, and it'll be flat. I'm going to put on it gradient. We'll do a 4-color gradient on that. And look at that. But is that what I actually want? I don't know if that's actually what I want that to be. I don't think that's what I want. I think what I want to do is create well, I might want that. Actually, yeah, I think I do want a 4-color grad on there, but what I want to really do is take this color and we're going to put it way out of the flare. Way out of there. And I just realized that this isn't what I want to do at all. Nope. What I want to do is a new layer, solid, and you will be like an orange, I think. And we're going to call you the sun. And we will create on you an ellipse. Typically the sun is a circle. Perfect. And we're going to put you behind everything else. But we're going to do a new layer, solid. And we're going to make it black. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take that black solid. We'll position it. These are, now we're working with some 2D elements, right? I'm going to put it right there. So it goes essentially to the bottom of that mountain line. A little bit. It really doesn't matter, actually. And then we're going to take the sun just for fun. We're going to tell it track matte alpha invert, so you only now exist where that black solid isn't. And we're going to take that sun. We're going to take that. Well, actually, the layer should be normal. It should be additive, I think. And the mask should feather. Maybe be a little unexpanded. Yep. Be a little less feathering, actually. Beauty. And then what we need now is another layer, another solid. And this is going to be like midnight blue. Like that. Perfect. We'll call this one sky. Now we got to do is put sky behind sun. Bingo. Now we're getting someplace. And we got to duplicate that black solid. Put that on top of sky because there's no sky underground, and then hit alpha matte inverted. There's our sky. And then we need another layer. We're going to need an adjustment layer probably. On top of those two, that's going to have glow. We're working with 32-bit glow here, which is a really specific thing. It just, everything behaves optically, so to speak. So if I take the threshold way down, what I'm trying to do, and I may have to cheat it anyway. That's not bad. That radius really big. Yeah, maybe that's a way to do this. It certainly isn't the worst. It's fun, right? I don't think that's what we really want. I don't know. At any rate, we're going to have to mask this layer as well. We can do that. But I think now we have to duplicate that adjustment layer again. And now tell the adjustment layer, this layer, to only exist where that layer, the ground layer that the matte that we made is not. Now you've kind of got a sky going here, but the one thing is I don't think that that's really the right color, so I can layer solid settings. Let's change that to a bit more orange, I think. Is there a way to make the ground reflective? Yeah. It's a good call. We can do it for real, actually. So what I would do is our grid layer. Where is it? Is it you? Great. So take that and duplicate that. We'll call this one grid. Actually, we'll make the top one grid. Grid. But you just get named, thanks. And the one underneath will be mirror. We'll try this. Probably isn't going to work, but take that off. And now it is already 3D, so all I gotta do is go to material options. And now we have to change renderer. To do it, we're going to have to go to the actual Cinema 3D renderer. Okay. Now my computer's going to have a fucking heart attack, probably. Maybe we can't do a mirror. Appears in reflections. Reflection intensity. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I don't think layers solid settings. One, I don't think that we're going to be able to do this quote in real life. I think we're going to have to cheat it. After Effects isn't editing, man. This is look, see, we can make a reflection and a real one too. After Effects isn't editing. After Effects is what do you call this? This is a motion graphics editor, motion graphics designing platform. I want 0 specular. I wouldn't know what other software looks like, to be perfectly honest. I know that this is what After Effects looks like. I've never motion. I mean, I've done some work in Cinema 4D. I mean, it's look. There's a learning curve to that. There just is. It's fun to do it with a real mirror. I never thought we could until someone suggested it. I'm just not sure how to get it to look the way I want. The other thing I'm noticing is that we're not seeing the grid, and I wonder if that's because they're on the exact same position. So if I push the mirror down slightly, well, then whoa, do we lose? No, it's a great idea. It's a super cool idea to do this. The question is, what are we gaining by doing this? I think we don't want to see this in a reflection. And back to the mirror. Making a bumper for the show. Twitch After Dark or HTD. Dark. Mm-mm. A bumper is it's just gonna be like, hey guys, so tonight we're gonna be talking about blank blank blank. I'm so glad you could join me, and the music is playing right now, and I'll be right back after this. And then graphic thing, intro the show, and then okay, we're back. It's Twitch After Dark with Greg. How you doing? Mm. Yeah, an intro. I'm not really a fan of the way those mountains look yet. They look a little too flat, but maybe that's what they're supposed to look like. Here's a thought too. What if we took yeah, grid at. Suppose I source name, layer name, grid, duplicate the grid again, and then we take the grid off, and then we put on there fractal. We want to generate a fractal on grid 2. No. We want to generate fractal noise, not a fractal, not like a literal fractal. We want to generate fractal noise. Just solo that guy up. Cool. And then soft linear. What do we want to do? Block, actually. And we want the complexity to be like really low. And the subsettings, the scaling should be super gigantic. So we want it to be super granular. Come on, man. No, maybe not block. Maybe we want to do. So. Never made a fractal this large, so I don't know if this is really going to work or not. To be super low complexity. Yeah, the reflection does look noisy. Hey, BMont, how you been? It's okay. I don't know if I even know how to make active camera view. How about we just look? There we go. But isn't there like a scale? Like not a subscale, but like complexity transform. There it is. There we go. That's what I've been looking for. Okay. Go back to active camera. That's what I was going for. Now I just take evolution and I hold option and click the stopwatch. And I'm gonna do, I'm gonna program it to run time. So evolve by time 100, just as it's an arbitrary number. Let's just see how, and then I'll hit render and we'll see how fast that is. This is going to take 100 years to export. Enormous. It's only using 17%, 30% of my computer. This is probably fine. Unsolo this, duplicate the grid again, put the grid underneath. This is called fractal noise. And then I'll take this grid and tell it, hey, I'm going to be a lumamat. Can't be a lumamat? Why? What's talking about? What? This is going to be a processor monster, but let's see what we got here. If I did this right, yeah, not really. As much fun as that was to make, I think we're going to lose the fractal noise and that secondary grid. Let's just ditch it. I was trying to make it like scintillate with color. I don't think it's going to work. I really wish I knew how to make form work. Because that would have been trap code form tutorial.
About form. So that's what we're going to be covering here. It can't just apply form to nothing. You have to apply it to something. So let's go ahead and create a solid. I'm just going to right click in the timeline panel, choose new, solid. Doesn't matter what color it is. I just want to make sure it's comp size and click OK. And now I'm going to go to effect. And then I would go to RG Trap Code, but I'm actually currently using beta software, so I'm going to go to RG Trap Code Beta, and I'm going to choose Form to apply form. Now, your default settings should look something like this, an unimpressive kind of grid of white dots. Depending on the resolution of your composition, this might look smaller or bigger, but something roughly like this is the default settings for form. I realize not super impressive. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at how to create impressive stuff from scratch, but there are a bunch of presets.
Wait a second. Hold on a second, because that is exactly what I expected to find. Turned on form, so layer new, solid. 1920 by 1080. I'll call this one form. Do this one more time. Form. Trap code form. There it is. So much better. Okay. Base form should be a grid. XYZ individual. So we want the size in Y to actually be 1. With the size in Z be like just like 10,000. Something crazy. I want the size in X to be like that. And we want to move the position. Not like that. We want to move the position down a bit, so there's more of those. Then particles in Y, we want like a ton. Particles in Y should be 1. Particles in Z should be 5,000 or maybe even 10,000. There you go. Particles in X should be 2,500. X should be wider. What am I? Oh. Wait, what? Size X a lot. Size Z. I don't understand. Why is it not? Hmm. Two fluids form. There's gotta be a way to, there used to be a way I thought to have them connect. Was it doing strings? Strings? I do strings. I don't know what strings are. Alright, whatever. Let's just pull in graphics, bring in that layer. Okay. Form, you must use. Let me put that all the way at the bottom. It doesn't really matter where it is. Form, layer map, displacement. We're working. Layer for Z. No, it's not right though. Hmm. Oh, right. That's not. That is Z. It's X. We want to disperse over X. Still not working though. Yeah. X, we want to use that. We want to use none. X and Y. Okay. Almost right. Y and Z. RGB to X, Y, Z. There we go. There you go. These are kind of like two competing ideas that we've now got going on here. I don't think it's going to work. I was hoping that there was a way to do form and have it connect the particles. I was sure you could. I might be thinking of something else. Shit. I might be thinking of a completely different particle system and having my wires crossed. Oops. Form does this. So what we want to do now is take this just to see what this thing looks like. Position. Boom. We just want to set it to basically run forward through this world we've been building. However, so what those dots are doing is they're using that weird, that black and white picture I grabbed of that valley in Afghanistan, and they're using the black and the white values to set how high they are in Z space. So it's a form based on that actual valley. I thought I could actually build a grid out of it though. Yeah, topography, exactly. It's called a height map. And I thought it would be cool here, but maybe it's not. Let's just see what it looks like now that we're moving. We gotta move like so much faster for this to be cool too. Like so much faster, right? So like this thing's gotta go that fucking far in order for this to look cool. It's just I really should have set that up to like, but it needs texture. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's like these are competing ideas. We shouldn't actually be getting any closer to those mountains. Those should be like, you're not 3D, you're not 3D. Why are the mountains 3D? Let's be back here. It's fucking crazy looking. And let's be a flat kind of layer. Sort of weird. Just one layer. Now, you never get closer to that distance. I am trying to create some vaporwave art. Yeah, basically. You know what you want to do now? Create sort of an illusion. So where's my mountains? I should just like name things for a change. What do you guys think? Just call this mountains. Make it smaller. Like that. And go to the end of our animation. And increase it a bit. Kind of a sense of parallax. Now what does it look like if we turn that grid back on? It's for this show. Yeah, I don't think it's. I think that it's either the grid or the dots. I don't think it can be both. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna not do the grid, I think. And, fortunately, this fucking form, we want to actually, get the height. Give ourselves more runway. We want to push it that way. But, yeah, give ourselves a lot more runway. I mean, now the grid is actually going to compete a little bit less. Let's see where we get to. A lot better. And if we put that grid back in. Oh, well, unfortunately, it also runs out. It just feels. Yeah, I think the grid's a mistake at this point. That's fine. Okay. So then I want to take form and audio react. I'm gonna play with the audio reactor. That sounds cool. To do that, I would need to take this, copy. I don't know if this actually, and project paste. Can I just drag it in? It's actually entirely possible it would let me do that. Not sure. Could cut that in here and then you can't send it to After Effects, but I could do this. I could combine those two and replace with an After Effects composition, and now I've got the audio in a separate comp, and I could then take that, copy it back to here, paste it here at the bottom. Do you have a audio adjust on you? Take those two, layer pre-comp, and then now take the form Back to effect controls, particle masser. No, no, no. Nope, nope. Audio react, audio layer 1, pre-comp 1. You should just use the source. Reactor, map 2. Size, maybe? Just see what that looks like. Now the particles are like throbbing to the beat. But what if instead of particle size, we did displace in X, and we make the threshold fairly high, so that, you know, it's got to drop hard, but the strength is heavy. It's weird, that's not X at all. Maybe I mean Y. The only problem here is that they are Nightbot got a sub. That's pretty weird. I didn't know that was possible. Now, what if you were, instead of displace, you were fractal? And strength over Y? I think I have to actually build the fractal field. Yeah, and then we want to affect slice, effect size. That's great. That'll work for tonight. And then we just need to see thing that says text HTD, and it's got to be huge, and it should be in my font, which is Eveleth Clean Regular. Okay. And then I need the font. We have some kind of 80s looking ass font, but let's just look for something 80s. Oh. Sci-fi might be an answer there, actually. Retro. Square LCD, maybe? Robotech font, holy shit, that's fucking cool. Which one did you guys like? Sports Night? You like that? Yeah, that's not bad. Edge Racer, I've used Edge Racer before, actually. Okay, let's stop playing with this for a second. Install these fonts. The thing about Edge Racer is that there's like a billion variations, and I think that's what we want right there. Cool. Create another layer. Like that, and we'll put this one over here. And this one's just going to say after. And then we're going to put in here Edge Racer, but which Edge Racer? So I think we want object in there. Null object is just like numerical, nah, but you can use them as a hinge. So if I wanted to like rotate that together as around a point, that might be what I do. Okay, and then do layer new. A shape layer, and nope, wrong tools. This tool, pen tool. fill on that one should be. That, parent that also to the null, and we're going to call this, put this one up here, down there, call this one text handle 1. And then what we can actually do is take this and we can give it a stroke. Give it a stroke. It sounds dangerous. Nah, I don't think we want to do that. I think what we want to, oh shit, that was a big mistake. I think we want to actually take our little triangle, duplicate it, and then with the one in the background, just kind of offset it, maybe even shrink it a little. Come up here and then make that one. Somebody suggested neon green. That's not a bad choice, but I actually think something like, yeah, like almost an electric teal. It's like a pair of sunglasses I had when I was a kid all of a sudden. You know what though, I don't think that we should have done this scale adjust. I think we should have just kept it almost like a shadow. Cool. Now, what we've got going on here is we want HTD to land on that. Dark to land there. After dark, you need to glow, but we're going to worry about that kind of stuff in a minute. So HTD, let's start animating now. Position, you land there, and I think you're going to come in from right there. Like, this bumper is ridiculously long, but that's okay. Let's just get it done and then we can fine tune it later, right? After and dark, should we do? They arrive. Yeah. Per character, no, we're gonna do position, I think. I'll do, and I want to do set. Nope, we need to do. Oh yeah, actually, that's probably correct. Do my range selector right, and then go the other way. Perfect. Okay. Nope, wrong. Nope. Just keyframe it. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, some number of frames. Boom. And then after, and then dark is going to get the exact same treatment. Text, animate, position. And no, you're going to come in from the same spot. Thanks. And then your range selector, and what we should just do is copy that, put it there, and then and then offset that by time. Let's turn the grid off while we're working on everything except, well, the grid. Let's turn off the form while we work on everything that isn't form, right? Because that's just going to make everything run slow. speed adjust graph here. I want you to come swooping in. And then maybe take a little longer to come to a stop, thanks. Yep, that'll work. And then you, you guys actually can't work like that. But what we could do is add a blur. Really just turn motion blur on. What's that look like? Yeah, way better. Some things need motion blur. HTD probably won't hurt from that either. Okay, after dark. And then I think actually what we want to do is take you. Which one are you? Are you pink? And you are blue. And we're going to take position there, keyframe both of those so we know where they belong. But we wanted to land there. So pink. Wait, what the hell? You. That's the issue. Oops. Pink. That way. Blue. And there blurs. It's gotta be so much faster than that. Eight frames tops. Honestly, it's probably good, but sometimes it's good to get a little of that. And then I want to offset so that the blue is just a few frames late. Oh yeah. Cool. That's very fucking hot. And then layer new solid white. Put it on top of After Dark. Make it normal. Make it add. Make it invisible. Actually, no, make it invisible. Let's just make that, and then feather the shit out of that thing. Perfect. And now, okay, and then position. Oh, rule number one: parent this, of course, to the text handle. Wherever the heck that sucker went. Where'd it go? There, right in front of my face. Okay. We want to make it go position there. 2, 3, 4, 5. To there. Really fast. And we also want it to be T. That's opacity, by the way. 0. U now to bring up all keyframes for this layer. And we want to end on 0 too, believe it or not. Or 0, not 3. But briefly, we want it to hit like just before it's gone. We want it to go to about 100%. Maybe it should be a little bit more slow than that, like 3 more frames. layer, new adjustment layer on top of everything. And we're just testing this right now because I'm pretty sure this is going to work the way I expect it to, but I'm actually going to apply this effect elsewhere. Effects, GLO. Yeah, it's not really working, is it? Glow threshold. Glow intensity. Okay. Probably other ways to do this thing with the glint that my brain isn't letting me wrap my head around right now. Okay. And then. Alright, let's. I mean, this thing is so stupidly long, but whatever. Let's turn on our form. And can the form transform on color? Audio React Master, Reactor 1, Reactor 2, same track. Oh yeah, cool. Vertical size, fractal. Vertical. Solid color. Kind of fun. Ooh, so if we did a color over Y, and yeah, man. Not really working. I'm surprised you can't attach it to color. Seems like that would be a kind of a no-brainer, right? It's kind of fun though. It's a little bit more characterful. I wonder if you reverse that. Mm. 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 Figure that one out, guys. Okay. All right. And I still don't love the way this grid looks, but let's just see how it plays. Did the stream freeze? I don't think so. It does not appear frozen to me. Looks good. There's madness in the chat. What's going on in my chat? I haven't looked at this. What's going on? Should those particles be whitening pink? I just want to see how they move because they're supposed to like dance. I'm staring intensely at the color palette for 5 minutes. It's a possibility. It's not beyond me. This is so long. Why did I think that I could make a 38-second show bumper? What's wrong with me? Well, this is not real time, but it is way too long. It is like 5 full seconds. I'm making this for when I get on a late night stream. I haven't named the talk show yet. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I thought it would. All right. I actually don't think it's too slow. I think that these mountains are too boring. I just think it needs to have a lot more going on. I think that's what needs to be going on. I think it could be a little bit faster, but I don't hate it. Yeah, I agree. That should have. Um, it's not right there. So. I know what to do. Ah, now I've got it. We need that. And then I need to duplicate you. And basically I need to contents, shape. Nope, definitely don't want to curve it up. We just want to fuck with that path. Bring it all the way down like that. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be somewhat synced. The particles in the ground are kind of reacting to it, actually. I may have to. That's way better. That's already so much better. You have a rabbit that needs walking? The horizon line should have a blindingly white line. Not a bad choice. No. What the hell? Yeah, I agree. Only the top and bottom. That's solid. I'm working on here. I don't even really want to do this top, the side, the one side. I just want to do the top. Okay, scale. blur. So we want to do blur. Each of these need to blur individually. Yeah, and I want to put like what, 4 picks? Oh, what did I just do? What? What are you doing there? Maybe one of you. Delete that, thank you. Yeah, I knew there's something wrong there. You need to reverse that and be about 8. You've got one that's at 15. Is that green? Okay. Now I need to add a blur in here. Just a quickie Gaussian blur. I think you need to have like a red channel. Right, so if we blur the red, apparently 14 really starts to look blurry. The question is, do you want to put it up before you shift or after you shift the channel? I think that's a bit heavy on the green shift. What do you guys think? Too much. Really should have been like 8. And the blur is too much too. Blur should be 5 across the board. There we go. So for those of you who, because I didn't explain what I was doing, I took everything we did and put it into a pre-composition, and then I took that and I made one of them red, one of them blue, one of them green, and then set them all to additive, so it becomes back to white, and then you can take your blue and your red and green and you can shift them and bend them a little bit. So I did a little optics compensation to create distortion here, and then we put a little blur on it, glow. I don't have a TV filter that I can drop on here very easily anymore. I used to have a pretty decent one. It's a pain to do a good one, to be honest. So the next question, though, is honestly, take the form, size, opacity, set color, no, base form, size in X. Yeah, particles look better actually. 750 in each direction would be the way to go. Just get like much more resolution that way. I just want to know how you Great. Keyframe that Z size. Go to 0. Great. And now my sun, my mountains, they arrive. You can't hear me? You guys can't hear me? I'm sure you can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Is there some joke going on that I'm missing? That's possible. Optics. Can that even support optics? Work. Okay. And now that, where's that horizon line? Scale, great. we got here? Maybe too fast, actually. My computer doesn't make any noise at all. Actually, it's funny. It's like it's a kind of rendering where it can't really use all of the machinery. Like it can only use a component here and there. So I think it's pretty. We're gonna offset that a lot. This can come in like that. Great, and then the mountains. Where are they? This should come. I also think that all of you. Because this form stuff needs to take a little bit longer. Good. And maybe take a little longer on that too. I'm kind of self-taught. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of tutorials that Andrew Kramer designed. There's one more thing I gotta do because it's just I have to. Otherwise, this is because this shouldn't be this transition, right? This should be you. The sky should just be on. T. But what I need to do is you're already following this black salad, which is you're doing an alpha invert, but what if instead of an invert an actual alpha? So frustrating. I should have done that in the beginning. Do alpha mat instead. Now we're show me the rulers. Okay. That's fine. And then I'll take that over here. Scale 0. Key it. %. And just put a little blur on that. That's so much better. Great. All right, now let's take a look at the actual comp here. Woo! So anybody who asked me what they tuned into, I am building a intro for a show for How to Drink After Dark, which is what you're kind of watching. It's not really exactly what I want, but I can definitely live with that, you know? It's not dubstep, no. Does this sound like dubstep to you? Get out of here, Ratter. Yeah, it's a little lot of things, but it's also some mess, and the client is me, and I'm not very picky at the moment. Like, I'm into it. It's fine. I have there's no delivery date. Like when I have an idea about how to fix it, I can adjust it down the road. I can keep tweaking it. So I'm into it though. I think we're done. The only thing we kind of need is a way out. Oh no, there's one more thing I need to do. So HTD, this null, and HTD. They both need layer new. I need new null object. I think it needs to be about there. So, and then I take HTD and this null, and I parent it to that. Great. And then we can get rid of this. You show up here. When do you show up? You. There you are. So from this moment forward, scale. Just want to put a subtle. I do mean subtle, like maybe 20% scale on that, and maybe also over a long time. That's very subtle. We want to slightly drop its position. We're scaling it up. Cool. Now when we go back. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I would wonder about too would be doing like another layer, adjustment layer. Oh man. And then putting a blur on that. It should be a compound blur, but I'm going to cheat and just do it with the easy thing here. I guess I'm not. I'm going to use a compound blur. And then do layer, new, solid. Do a white solid. Black. black solid, put that under the white solid, take the white solid, put this thing on it, like that, yeah. Now, yeah, but we actually have to invert these colors, that's okay. And then feather that just that much. And then white, actually, you, composition, layer solid settings, you should actually be black. And you, layer solid settings, should be white. And then I can take those two, layer pre-compose them, and we'll call this blur matte. That tells it, hey, I'm just one picture, I'm just a picture. And I'm going to put underneath everything else. And then the source now is blur matte. Okay. I don't know, I mean, literally, see how it's only blurring? Where the matte was, so the edges blur. And actually what we want to do, I think, is even, I think we want to take that mask and feather it even more and expand it so that it's really subtle. It's just like a extra little push in the corner there, but crank up the actual blur. Might be a bit extreme, but I kind of like it. Alright, well, let's see what happens if we hit save and we go back to Premiere. Let's see if we can export this in. Put a little cross dissolve on the end here. Out. Okay. See how long it's going to take to export. If it exports in the appropriate amount of time, then I would be happy to show you guys exactly what this is supposed to do. Drive 14, Twitch, graphics, exports, After Dark bumper, underscore version 1. Cue it. And I'm going to hit save on that and quit Premiere because it's eating resources. We're going to hit save After Effects and quit After Effects. Okay. Let's hope that this is going to render it about in a quick time, in the quickness. It is possible I should not have quit Premiere. So let's reopen Premiere. It won't be 2 minutes, but it might be quicker than I'm concerned it might be. Oh, come on, man. There we go. Good. Okay, export. Media. Yeah, match source is fine. Cue it. No, it takes a second to load. That's pretty normal. Now I can quit Premiere. How is you rendering so fast? God damn, that's a miracle. Alright, you guys are gonna get to see it, sure. I expected that to take 40 minutes. It's a new computer. I haven't really built anything like this on here, so. Jeez. It's out of control. I mean, no, yeah, but even still, just to get to there is crazy. Oh, right, because most of that was black. Well, those are seconds. But now it's like I'm confused. I'm I'm taking a lot longer now. My computer's only using 20% of its CPU. That's what's frustrating. Like, no. Very few things that anything Premiere can do on a Mac are going to use your GPU. In my experience, very few things are GPU accelerated processes. It's almost all just brute force CPU work. Well, this is a Mac, and yeah, that's true. I can do that too. Um, I can edit how much memory it's using. I have 64 gigs. It's leaving 12 alone. I can't really adjust how much CPU power it has access to. Sure. It is set for GPU acceleration DJ singularity. That just means that the components in After Effects / Premiere that are GPU accelerated, the components of the software will be allowed to use the GPU. But 99% of everything that Premiere / After Effects does, maybe not After Effects, I can't say that with definitive facts, but like 99% of everything you can do in Premiere is absolutely not GPU accelerated. It just can't be. It's a shame. I really wish it could be. It's just not. Um, and I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if it's true on a PC. Honestly, like on a Premiere, like Premiere Pro, like what's actually there are some effects on Premiere Pro that are GPU, like this blur uses GPU and this weird transition uses GPU. Yes, but the hardware encoder is garbage. Macs have it's an Intel thing. It's an Intel developed a hardware encoder. It's the NVENC fast encoder is for basically like security cam footage and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. You can't actually deliver on that. Um, Additionally, those encoders, like, this is actually drawing, right? Like it's a video encoder is like that's the lastest bit, right? That's the final step in getting programming to um, going from, oh my god, why can't I think about this? The encoder is the last step. It's literally just kind of wrapping it up. Before then, especially with After Effects, like there's a 3D environment and we set up lights, so there's like ray tracing going on and illumination, and we've got all this stuff with blur that has to be mathematically computed and stuff like that. A lot of that should be done on the GPU actually, but it's probably not in reality. Um, the actual encoding of the video is still done on the CPU. Um, and so that's why in like Premiere, when you're not doing any effects, basically everything is done off of the CPU. I still always buy the best video card available when I've bought all of my iMac editing machines. This Merc is a lot. It has the 3.6 gigahertz 8-core Intel i9, and it has that much RAMs, and it has that card. I don't know which chip architecture they're using. I feel like it's a K9900 or whatever. Yeah, I think that's part of it. Fancy pants. I also think that part of it is that like Premiere and Adobe and all these things are. I don't know. I honestly, like I said, it could be true about After Effects. I haven't really fucked with After Effects I barely touch it anymore. It's been kind of years. It might be more GPU based than memory serves. Premiere is certainly not. Had that. Let's find out. Probably because there's two different rendering engines in Premiere now in After Effects. So I bet Classic 3D is going to be CPU if I had to guess, and the ray traced 3D engine is going to use the. Oh, that's a problem too. We're in the ray traced GPU. Yeah, we are rendering in ray tracing GPU, and we don't even need to be. After Effects GPU usage. Oh boy. When was this written? This looks like 1,000 years old. Oh, it's 2019. Processor. They'll be making increasing, but After Effects is much more reliant on the speed of your CPU. While it's important to have a supported GPU, you will typically see a large increase in performance with a higher end model. Yeah. What's video cards support Ray Trace 3D in After Effects? Unfortunately, Ray Trace 3D isn't supported by any modern video cards. Cool. It's just like ancient fucking technology. I guess ray tracing is no longer. It makes sense because like video cards. Well, stand by there. Ray tracing isn't supported by modern video cards. So video cards no longer, like, they don't make hardware that does ray tracing anymore, is what he's saying. And that kind of makes sense because ray tracing is probably, if I had to guess, like the shittiest, slowest, hardest way to do the math. But maybe the prettiest, maybe the most accurate, right? Because you're really just doing all the math. Whereas I think shaders and things like that, I'm guessing at how this all works under the hood, guys. You know, I'm not like a fucking, not a gamer, really. I don't really care. Yeah, whatever. So basically, you're being pedantic. It's fine. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that your video card, your graphics card, is built for handling real time graphics, and your motion graphics software and video editing software barely cares about real time anything because our goal is to make something once and put it in a box to play back later. Video games care very much about real time effects and graphics and visuals processing. But from a video editing perspective, if I'm getting decent enough playback, if I can navigate, then that's enough. Same as with like motion graphics, stuff like that. Like it's awesome if you can make it real time, but that's not the priority. The priority is that the final product is very, very good. Ailboo. Ailey Buoy, do I get enough out of it? Well, I do. Yeah. I mean, I literally can't make a living without it. So, um, and I've been paying for it for years. So I definitely get my money's worth out of it. I use Premiere Pro and After Effects pretty extensively. Occasionally, I have used for Audition. I kind of try to avoid it at all costs. I use Photoshop constantly anymore. I'd show you what I was doing in Photoshop earlier, except I think it would, well, actually, barely using the machine. I probably could. So the other thing I was doing earlier for the other show intro, let me show you this. I showed you guys this before, but it was hours ago, so I'm probably a whole different crew here now. So tomorrow night, I'm hosting D&D, and I do that every Thursday now at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is how we're going to start the show now. You know, probably like I'll talk with you guys and be like, okay, guys, start the game. I guess tonight, Thursday night. Too much? Too cheesy? I think it sets the mood. So I haven't finished this yet, but it's good enough for now. If you see this frame, there's parallax scrolling. Like, look at the Sphinx moving in front of the pyramid, and this layer is moving in front of that. And then you see these guys are moving kind of in front of each other, and certainly you're seeing it there and everything like that. But this one's flat. And then I haven't done the other ones. And then this one, you can see there's multiple layers. Like these ladies are out here in front, and there's background, and there's a couple layers there back to the sky. So the way you do that is, and all these paintings are all from the 1800s. They're all 19th century kind of romantic scenes, or in this case, it's Jupiter eating his son. And this is actually 19th century pornography. But it was ladies reenacting a witch scene, and I thought that the photo is cool. I'm not using all of it. It may not survive to the final version of this, but it feels long. But I think that in context, it's not going to feel long. So we'll try it tomorrow. We'll see. And so I'll just show you guys really quickly. If you've ever seen those kind of 3D camera moves in a photo, how is it done? I'll show you really quickly, at least part of the job that's involved. Actually, so little of my processor is being used here. Yeah, well, I had this piece of music, and I thought this is a great way to intro the show. I like this a lot. It's like the right mood. But then I was like, oh, need pictures. What am I going to do? And I was kind of wrestling with it. I did this today. I was wrestling with it earlier, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, we just use paintings that are from old stuff. Like, that's all public domain. So like we'll open up so I had the Sphinx image, and then I made a Photoshop doc, and I separated it into layers, and you can see here I've made mats of each layer. So, and I just kind of like estimated, right? Like, well, what's my foreground? Like, I think my foreground is roughly this. And then there's probably like a layer that's here. And then that might include the Sphinx. They look connected. And then there's this shadow distant place. And then I think the pyramid is its own layer. And there's the clouds as a layer. And then the blue sky behind the clouds, right? If I was being honest. So what I did was there's that layer. And 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 then there's actually, I forgot the sun. Okay. So, and then what happens is you wind up with, well, when you want to move this, and so let's go, we'll show you in After Effects. What the hell? Where's the project? D&D open. Just like rendering nearly identical frames, but that's because it's stupid long. It really shouldn't be this long, but whatever it is, what it is. So like in After Effects, what you do is you take all those layers. These are all the layers from Photoshop. If I solo this one, you'll see it's just that. See, right? Like, so these are literally the layers out of Photoshop, and then you stack them up in a 3D environment. And then what you do is you take like your backmost layer, which in this case is the sky, and you position. So simple. You push it way back into Z space. It's at 3,500 pixels back, right? And so you push it all the way, way back into Z space like that. And then you take it and you scale it back up so that it looks like it belongs where it is. Okay, and then you create a camera, a 3D camera, which you can't see it because we're looking through it, and attach it to something so that you can move it. And then you can move around. And you can see we can animate this camera move. We now have this parallax scrolling to give us a 3D move. But what happens? Oh shit. We're going to see some stuff here we don't want to see, right? If I move this too extremely, I'm going to break it. So how do you fix that? How do you fix, because there's actually, in real life, the artist didn't give me a painting of the sky behind these dudes or behind that dude, right? Like there's none of that stuff was actually there. There was no, it's flat, right? So how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, back in Photoshop. I don't want to save any of this work. Quit and do not save. So back in Photoshop, let's say, oh fuck it. I gotta do more of these anyway. Let's just do another one real quick while we're waiting. Assets, and I'll show you exactly how you do it. And I won't spend too long on it, hopefully. graphics, D&D intro, which is another one that we've got to work on animating. Yeah, probably that. Did that one. That one turns out to not be as old as I thought it was. It's a pretty good one. It's one that's like not gonna be a billion hard times. Well, that would be pretty easy to do for this demo. While I wait. That one is not gonna be easy to do. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that 19th century weird witch scene. This one is a good one. All right, so open this with Photoshop. So the first thing I know is I've got, depends on how complicated I want to get here. I know I want 2 layers. I don't actually know. I mean, realistically, I would do this as 1, 2, 3 layers minimum typically, but I think we can do it in 2 because we're not going to linger on it that long. So you, the audience, aren't going to really see that much. Okay. So I've got 2 layers, and I want to actually put on them masks. We don't need to do that, but I've just kind of added that to my workflow. It makes my life easier. I'm going to quick select this whole ground, I think. I think that's the way. And then this dude. I'm going to quick select him. Dink, 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 dink. Okay, just quickly, and then unselect everything that isn't him, but that is the ground. But that isn't this wall. But it is him. It is him. It's him. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's him. Unselect, 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 unselect. Okay. And then we'll just refine that a bit. It doesn't need to be perfect because I'm going to have to do a bunch of refinement to it anyway. So. Okay. Cool. Technically, I do want these fingers in here, but if I can't get them on this pass, it's fine. Great. A little bit more there. Okay, cool. Invert that selection. Shift Apple I. Delete. Oh, no, don't delete. Sorry. Shift Apple I. Then grab a paint bucket and some black and get your clicker into the mask and drop black. So now we have matted this shot so that it's just this. However, unselect. There are some problems. One, sometimes you get these artifacts. So grab a brush, paint them out. All right, just adjust this matte. There's like things on my whatever. All right, and then over here, he's definitely missing some parts. So I can turn on both layers. Make sure you're painting in here, and then switch to white. I'm just gonna kind of paint back in. Actually, you know, I find that a lot of times the easiest way is to just overpaint, and then I'm using a very hard brush right now, and then kind of, I said X, oh, that's funny. Paint back, you know, find those edges. Your eye is, for the most part, a lot better at this than any machine. You can go pretty quick. Just a happy little sword guy. Happy little sword guy. Okay, and then kind of shave that down. Yeah, I really wanted like Frazetta style art, and then I stopped and was like, you know, who was his influence? I don't know if you guys know who Frazetta is. I think that that's intended to not be part of that layer. I think it should be pretty, yeah, narrow there. Makes it kind of wicked looking. Okay, and then let's see if we got this right. I don't think we did entirely. Close. But the most important part is coming up, right? So I've painted out, I've got this foreground layer, right? I'm doing a very bad job on this, but that's okay. To be perfectly honest, it might have actually... Okay. And we can, like, fix this guy's fingers. Okay, so. You know, we probably don't want some of that. There you go. Maybe over here. So it totally depends on how critical this shit is. Like, do you really want to do all this? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Okay. All right, cool. So now I've got this layer. I haven't actually masked any of this because it's just going to be a one layer backdrop. But what I do know is that this guy is going to move in front. Like my foreground version, we're going to parallax him in front of that back wall. If we do that and we don't get him out of this shot, it's going to suck, actually. Because what's going to happen here is he's going to, oh, that's interesting. You're going to see him doubled. So we have to take this guy out of the shot. Well, I do it with a clone brush. And it's a little bit tedious. And it takes practice, but, you know, with practice, you can get pretty good at it. And there's a few tricks to it to, like, just remember that essentially people aren't going to look all that close. And what you can do, actually, sometimes what you have to do is, I can't clone source. Where is it? Oh, it's right in front of my face. You have to flop it. Take something from the other side. Pull this. Now I gotta line it up. Not like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then undo that. Get that in there. And then what do I do about him? Well, the best I'm going to be able to do is this, probably. Without making myself crazy. Now, already this is probably enough. Unless we decide to do a very dramatic move, and we should not do that. We should not do a very dramatic move. Take that out. Take that. And that doesn't look great, but I don't really have much I can pull from here, so what I could do, and this is not ideal, but it's what you might have to do sometimes, is you have to kind of really kind of step and repeat a thing. Not my best work, but for our purposes, I think this will suffice. Find the edges. It's one of the nice, it's a good thing to do, find some edges. Okay. Remember, we're like really right behind him here, so we probably don't need to worry about this part because, or do we? I don't know. Sometimes you get into Premiere, you do the move, and you're like, ah, shit, I gotta do that too. I do need to paint out this though. You need to paint out this guy's hand. May as well just take. Oops. May as well take the rest of it. So, and then we turn that guy on. And you can see what we're going to be allowed to do now is we'll do a move on this in After Effects. And it will pass, right? Like he'll be able to pass in front of that background and it'll pop off of that. That's cool. And then maybe I can even create like a light source up here and have that come streaming in. Anyway, I think I think you've probably seen that effect, and people don't realize how it's done. Like, that's how it's done. I want to hide you, Photoshop. I want to hide you. I can't hide Photoshop. For some reason, Photoshop doesn't like the hide button. Does not work. Hey, my render finished, so... Oops, force that to quit. I lost you guys. Here you are. So now all I gotta do is configure my Stream Deck. Oh wait, no, we need to do this in OBS, I think. I need to create, I think the way to do this is the tunnel. Go to close up, hi, and then I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna call this one After Dark. Okay. And what we're going to do is add a video capture, video source. Oh, dumb Greg. Oh, I totally fucked up. I was not, straight H.264 was the wrong export. I really needed to export that with, it's okay. It's fine. I think I can get around it anyway, but I needed to export that with an alpha channel, and I didn't because I'm an idiot. That's okay. Okay. So what we would do is, yeah, that's not really going to work, but totally forgot to filters. I totally cannot believe I forgot to do that. That's not the worst, but it's not what we want to do. It's not the right way to do this. I totally forgot to export it with a image mask blend. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And we are going to addition, multiply, alpha mask color channel, color black. Nope. Still trying to figure this one out. That's weird. Huh. Huh. This doesn't work the way I thought it was going to work. I'm an idiot, though. I really should have. I can't believe I didn't. I can't believe I didn't do it with an alpha channel. Well, I need to re-render it with an alpha channel. Oh well. Do a color key or something like that, and like make a custom select color. But if I do, because like so much of it's already black, I think that it's gonna put me into the bottom. Hi, I'm down here, guys. Wow. So that's probably not what we want.
There's really just no way to do that. Yeah. I have to redo it to turn off the channel. But anyway, that'd be like the show intro. And then the music plays itself out. Oh my god, he's full of stars. Alright, well. Maybe I'll just set that up to render while I go to sleep. Sequence. File. Media. Nope. You're gonna have to be a QuickTime. And you're gonna have to be an animation codec, and you're gonna have to match the source, and I want you to have alpha, and I'm gonna call you literally the same thing, After Dark version 2, and hit Q. Alright, guys, that's the end of the show for me. I am exhausted. I went a lot long. I went about 2 hours later than I expected to. I figured by 2 a.m. I'd be done, but I don't know. This kind of became a fun little problem to solve, and I can take it off my to-do list. That's cool. Only got 300,000 more things to do, but and away it goes. Let's watch it zip through the beginning. Nice. Oh, shit. I'm an idiot, too. Again, I'm an idiot. I only needed... Oh, man. Because, like, we could have saved this. I only needed up to the beginning. And then I guess the end. And I could have clipped them together. Because all that work is already done in the middle. Should have imported that export. Hypothetically, it might render this faster than into H.264, but I don't think so. I think it's about to slow way down. That's true. I'll be back tonight playing D&D. It's gonna be a good game, I think. We left off in the middle of a fight, which is always awkward. Yeah, I'm psyched. I love running D&D. It's a lot of fun. Well, guys, we did a lot. Made a few drinks. We built an entire animation from the ground up. I don't think anybody saw that coming, but that's why this show is called Anything Goes. So I'm gonna have to make a bumper for that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off my Trello. Trello is pretty cool. You can do some neat stuff with Trello. And if you are, there we go. Boom, badoom, badoom, boom. All right, guys. Well, it has been fantastic hanging out with you guys. We did the, what was it called? We did the Twitch thing. We did, we did Streamcast, and it was cool. It was really neat. It was very fun. So I can't complain. And I hung out with you guys. We did animation. We made some drinks. We've had a nice time. My hair has gone extra crazy. Really just... Let's try to keep it looking semi-intentional. Not the worst. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you're going to come back tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, to hang out and play D&D. And I will see you then. Until then, I'm gonna go to sleep for a few hours. I won't be up at 7 or 8 the way I thought I was. I'll probably be up at like 9 or 10. Get up, hang out with my kid, do some work. Got a lot of writing to do tomorrow. Not so much for D&D. Probably should do that too, but not as much as you might think. And yeah, I don't know where the chat window went. I totally lost it. Don't save. Don't save. Don't save any of this work that wasn't any good. There it is. Oh, there's Solly Sock saying good night, chat. All right, guys. So I hope you'll play D&D with us, hang out. Oh, and that's a cool thing. I said that. Play D&D with us. I'll be unveiling some new Twitch-centric game mechanics, I think, tonight. So I'll see you then at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here, for the next session of HTD and D. All right, guys. Thank you for being a friend, and good night.